Kent take the lead with leaning 90. Only 34 overs were possible on a weather-disrupted first day at Emirates Old Trafford, but Kent used the conditions to their advantage. Navdeep Saini with 3 to reduce the hosts to 112 for 4 when play was brought to a premature end. A brief but productive day for the visitors. And day 2 started in similar fashion. 2 balls into it, Sundar departed. A peach from Henry uprooted off stump. And he had another before the over was done. Lavelle out, well taken low down by Crawley. Lancashire off to a sorry start. Henry started the day on fire though. The last recognised batter Croft his third in quick succession, caught by Jordan Cox for 31. Bailey was a fourth. Off stump tumbled away, the number 9 out for naught. The score was up to 145 when Henry sealed his 5-wicket haul. Luke Wood outcaught by Stewart at mid-on for 17. Lancashire's innings heading towards its conclusion now. Gilchrist finished them off. Williams out, taken by Daniel Bell-Drummond for 2. Lancashire skittled for 145. The second time in as many weeks they failed to breach 150 in their first innings. And Matt Henry's 5 for 45 had played a major part in their misery. All of his wickets had come in the first hour of day 2. But Kent's impressive showing with the ball wasn't reproduced with the bat early in their innings. Compton out to just the second ball, caught by Sundar off Williams. Bell-Drummond followed in the 4th over, out LBW to Williams for 5. And when Crawley fell for a 27-ball duck, the 3rd wicket of the innings, Kent had only put 12 on the scoreboard. Denley and Leaning, who was taking over the captaincy from Sam Billings after his positive COVID test, clung on through to lunch. Kent in trouble on 24 for 3. The 4th wicket duo were in a precarious position, but they had their wits about them at the resumption, watchful in their approach, tiptoeing their way to 50 without a single boundary scored after the break. It was an effective recovery. They moved the score past the halfway mark to Lancashire's first innings return. And when Denley flicked Morley through the leg side for 3 to bring up his 50 off 106 balls, Kent were now closing in on 3 figures. It was the experienced number 4 that got them there, a single off Sundar, all that was required. They were now trailing by 45. The Lancashire body language changed. Kent were taking this match by the scruff of the neck, and the hosts needed a wicket. Relief for them. Tea just around the corner when Denley departed, caught behind to Bailey for 59. And when they headed off, Kent were now trailing by just 25. Some authority stamped on the match by the visitors. Lancashire came surging back at them after the break. Cox out caught by Wood off the bowling of Tom Bailey. Smiles returned to the hosts' faces. And Billings' replacement in the order, Ollie Robinson, followed before the end of the over. LBW to Bailey for a 3-ball duck. Stewart stopped the rot, sticking with Leaning and watching on as the stand-in skipper moved to 50 off 140 balls as his edge ran away for 4. He'd bring up the 152. Kent now in the lead. Stewart too had found his feet quickly, and with 4 off Sundar, he brought up the 50 partnership. It was a typically enterprising innings from the all-rounder, Bailey suffering as he chipped the bowler for 6. He'd also be the man to bring up the 200, the scoreboard rolling on when he calmly cut Morley for 4. Their partnership was worth 100 runs off 140 balls, but Morley brought it to an end. Leaning denied his 100, out well taken at slip by Wells for 90. You couldn't keep Stewart out of it. Up to 50 from 62 balls with a single off Morley. Kent's now heading for a 100-run lead. They had 253 on the board and a lead of 108 when Henry was strangled down the leg side for Bailey's 5th to leave Kent down to their last 2 wickets. Gilchrist fell to Williams, defences beaten, stumps rattled, and the visitors were 9 down. Bailey wrapped it up, Saini out caught by Bohannon for 3, Kent all out for 270, their lead worth 125, only 20 short of Lancashire's first innings return. They'd had to endure some of their own nervy moments, but Leaning, Denley and Stewart had produced crucial innings to give the visitors their advantage. Bailey once again shone for the hosts, finishing with 6 for 64. Wells and Jennings navigated the 2 overs remaining and finished the day with 2 on the board, knowing that their real work will start tomorrow. Kent had built on their decent platform and now were chasing down a win. Their lead is a handy one. The hosts in a tricky patch with 2 days left. They'll need to bat for quite some time if they're to turn this around.